So 3,000 people vote for this abortion bill. I'm not going to say which direction it is. It doesn't matter right now. But let's say 3,000 vote for it. Now let's say the legislator is really against the bill. He's against the bill, but he made a commitment that he's going to vote according to the majority will. So he's committed to vote yes, because he had 3,000 vote yes, 2,000 vote no, so the guy is committed to vote yes. So he goes to Congress, and when the bill comes up, all kinds of people try to get him to vote no, and he says, no, you know, and I made a commitment to vote yes. And so that's what I got to do. And so he goes and votes yes, no matter what happens around him, no matter how much pressure is put on him by outside means, he's committed to his majority to vote yes. So he goes and he votes yes. Same thing with anything else that comes up. Something happens on, say, a spending bill comes up, or a welfare bill, or a bill on bridge building or highways comes up. He does the same thing. He puts the bill out there for his constituents. The ones that are interested read it and vote on it. And then he tabulates the majority vote, and the actual vote is posted on the internet for everybody to see. And so when the vote is tabulated, everybody knows how this guy is going to vote. And so he has to go vote no matter what. And he has to go vote according to the will of the people. Now you can say, well, what if he changes his mind? We're going to cover that later on. This will actually be very rare because there's going to be a lot of pressure on the guy not to change his mind. So normally what will happen is when the majority vote is tabulated on the internet, he has to go vote according to the majority will. And what this does, it automatically corrects almost everything that's wrong with our system, so that when we send our guy to Congress on issue by issue by issue, the guy winds up voting for the majority. He actually, for the first time, represents the will of the people that elected him. Well, wouldn't that be something? When's the last time you felt that your congressperson represented your will, or the will of the majority, instead of the will of the minority, the will of interest groups, lobbyists, large corporations, big money somewhere, bankers, all kinds of people influence our congresspeople except for us. We're the last ones to influence them, but under this system, we will be the first to influence instead of the last. Now what this does is it automatically destroys the 9 points I brought up earlier that cause our representatives not to follow our will. Here's the problems that it eliminates. Number one, now our representatives are influenced by manipulated polls. Well, it doesn't matter what some manipulated poll tells us. When the will of the majority is tabulated, our representative has to vote the majority will. How about political and interest groups? When the will of the majority is tabulated, say, go back to this abortion bill, it doesn't matter, or a spending bill. You have a lot of interest groups on spending bills. Lobbyists, political action groups will come up to our guy and they'll say, hey, listen to me and we will, help you with your fundraising, do all kinds of favors for you if you'll vote according to our will. He'll say, sorry, the die has been set. My constituents have told me how to vote, and that's how I'm going to have to vote. And how about trading votes? A congressman comes up to him and says, hey, if you vote for my project, I'll vote for yours. And he'll say, I'm sorry, my constituents have told me how to vote, so I can't trade the vote. If I trade the vote, then that's going to make me into a liar, and I can never continue in this job. And how about ignorance? Many of our politicians are just ignorant of what's in the bill, but the people that have taken the time to read the bill on the internet actually will know what is in it. So the people that are voting on the bill are the ones that have read enough to get an idea of what's actually in the bill. Many of them will have a better idea than the congressperson. And so it does away with the ignorance related to bills, because the majority that will participate in this system will actually read the bills. And how about pressure from party leaders? Let's say a bill comes up for another big spending plan of some kind, and the party leaders come up to our guy and he says, hey, you got to vote with the party on this. I mean, if you don't vote for us, with us, well, it's going to be terrible. And he'll say, I'm sorry, my constituents have told me how to vote. And so I have to go along with what they say. Also, prejudice does away with prejudice, does away with the desire to be accepted. Once they get in Congress, they really want to be accepted. And it does away with that entirely. It doesn't matter if they're invited to parties or not. It doesn't matter if they get on the best TV shows and the media loves them or hates them. They will vote according to the will of the majority. And it also changes their job description. Their job description is no more just to go in there and just spend money. Now, their job description is changed from being big spenders with an unlimited bank account to actually being a representative of the people the way they're supposed to be. Now, what happens if the guy gets in there, gets comfortable, and doesn't like all the bad press he's getting because the media maybe doesn't like him, his party leaders don't like him, he's not really cooperating, the lobbyists don't like him, big business doesn't like him, nobody seems to like the guy except the people back home who just love him to death because he's actually representing them. But the people back home are a long way away, and here he is back in Washington, and he's thinking, boy, it sure would be nice if I was liked more here. So what can we do to prevent him from breaking his word? Number one, when he joins with the program, he commits himself. And he's got elected by agreeing to support the will of the people. If he breaks that will, we will publicize far and wide that the man lied to us. And we'll take away all support from him. Now, what's interesting about this idea is when the general public, the people, the silent majority out there that maybe aren't that politically active or whatever, that just feel like they've been ignored all these years, when they see that they're actually being represented, they will vote for someone who actually goes along with what they want. And so that'll create tremendous power to keep the guy honest. Okay, we're going to go into questions next time, so we'll look forward to spending more time with you later. Thank you.